Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube. It's your girl Honey, and I want to talk a little bit about the compatibility between Scorpio and Capricorn. I've almost finished Scorpio's compatibility series now, which is really good, but I'm just about to start I'm halfway through Capricorn, but I thought I'd do Capricorn today as I did a why I don't date Capricorn men video a few days ago. Best thing to do is check that shit out. You know, I've got a why I don't date Scorpio men video as well. I'm going to put all of those videos in the bio description below, so make sure you check that shit out after this video. So these two together, it's a very tricky one in my opinion. I kind of feel like it can work, but then again it can't work. I find these two kind of work best as business partners. These two are very, very stubborn people, and they're very, very different in a sense, but it's really unusual because we have the couple, what's her name, Gabrielle Union, who's a Scorpio, and she's married to Dwayne Wade, who is a Capricorn, and then who appear to show the world how happy they are together. And then you have Mimi from Love and Hip Hop and Stevie J, you know, who aren't together anymore, but you can see they still have that chemistry between each other when they're filming. Mimi's a Capricorn, Stevie J is obviously a Scorpio, sleazy ass Scorpio he is indeed, but he's funny, I love him, he's hilarious. But yeah, when these two have a lot of similarities but a lot of differences, and I think these two could possibly work if they learn to compromise with each other. But compromising is very, very difficult, you know, when you are both natural leaders. I would say more so Capricorn is the natural leader because Capricorn is a cardinal sign, but then you have Scorpio, which is also a fixed sign, so they're not very good at compromising so much, you know. But I find Scorpio women probably more of the leaders than the Scorpio men when it comes to relationships, you know, and that's fine, that's okay. But I find that might be a struggle or a power struggle between the Scorpio and the Capricorn. So Scorpio people tend to desire commitment. You know, they are relationship type of people, which is really nice because now we're in a time where people aren't really getting into relationships, right? And then you've got Capricorn who desires success, who goes with the rules of things, you know. They also think long-term longevity. So, you know, they're always the people that are out here working very, very hard to buy their house, to get their mortgage, you know, to keep their mortgage. They're those kind of people, and, you know, they're going to want wives, husbands to work hard with, you know, to grow old with also. So, you know, when it comes to that kind of thing, those two do definitely work very, very well. Now, when it comes to communicating, these two will definitely have, you know, some very deep, in-depth conversation. You've got Scorpio, who's very, very much into the occult. You know, they might talk about astrology, they might talk about conspiracy theories, you know, how people die, you know, just like dark things. And then you've got Capricorn, who likes to explore this stuff, but they talk about it and they might make jokes about it, or, you know, it's not that deep to me, so I'm not going to express how deep this shit is to me, you know, like a Scorpio might feel it, you know. And then I kind of feel like when it comes to how they're both feeling in relationships, because, you know, Scorpio is a sign that is very, very deep and they are very in touch with their emotions. Then you have Capricorn, who is in touch with their emotions, believe it or not. However, Capricorn have this thing where they tend to hide it, or they like to express their emotions in private. So you might have a Capricorn, you know, that's had a car accident today or had a really, really bad day, and Scorpio calls them, hi, how's your day going? And their response is always going to be, you know, I just had a car accident, but whatever, man, it is what it is. and then they'll continue with the conversation talking about other things. And for a Scorpio's like, what the fuck was that? Like, let's talk about your day. What happened today? How do you feel about your day? I can't believe that happened to you. And a Scorpio will bring that shit up later on down in the week, in that day. You know, they will bring that shit up because they want to talk about how it made you feel. You know, they want to kind of feel, because they're feeling probably deeper than the Capricorn, but the Capricorn is not expressing, and that can really, really aggravate, you know, a Scorpio who wants to talk and express and feel and share. You know, Capricorn is not very good at expressing their emotions in the same way that a Scorpio will. Like, a Capricorn will say, yeah, I've had a shit day, but they won't explain how it's like truly made them feel. And this is where I find the two kind of differ. Now I find sorry, I got itchy head. I find when it comes to Scorpios, you know, they have this, I find they're very similar to the Capricorns when it comes to being introverts or being extroverts. Scorpios, I find, are very much introverts. You know, they're not the kind of people that walk into a room, hey, I've arrived, hey everyone, you know, Scorpio's here, blah. No, that's not them. But, you know, they are the mysterious looking people that you're drawn to. You know, and Capricorn is that mysterious, not mysterious, but that Capricorn is that cute person that's hanging around with those people over there, and, you know, that can catch a Capricorn's eye, a Scorpio's eye. And these two, when they're together, they can get very, sorry, my mind's on 100. When Scorpio can get very bored of Capricorn being very complacent, because, you know, Capricorn will go to work, go home, go to work, go home, meet with friends today, friends tomorrow, maybe. That, you know, Scorpio can get very bored of how regular Capricorn likes to live their life, and Scorpio can create some type of dramas, you know, and to see how passionate Capricorn is, and this is where the arguments will start to arise. And you know, Capricorn doesn't particularly like to argue, but Scorpio will push and push and push and push Capricorn's buttons until Capricorn erupts. And listen, you don't want to see a Capricorn erupt. You know, once they erupt, that's when it gets really bad. Capricorn can react in such a shocking way, it can be seen as out of character. Because remember, Capricorn go by the rules, they're very disciplined, and when you push a Capricorn's buttons to get a reaction, they're not going to go by the rules. They will go completely against what they know. And, you know, when you do that to a Scorpio, Scorpio's going to be mad about that. And what's Scorpio going to do? Scorpio's going to get you back. Scorpio can also react towards a Capricorn for being very extroverted, but it's weird because, like I was saying before, like Capricorns can be introverted and extroverted. Like, Capricorns can be in a group of people, but they're not contributing enough, but them being there is enough for them. You know, they are happy to be invited out and they'll go out and turn up, but they also have days where they want to just stay in the house and chill out. So they are, in my opinion, they are extroverted introverts. And then you've got Scorpio, who is an introvert, you know, but they still like to socialize and do their thing. So, oh God, the sex life as well, shit. So the sex life between a Scorpio and a Capricorn, in my opinion, I look at it as being, I feel like when you sleep with a Scorpio, you never forget you slept with them, because they perform that well in the bedroom. And then you have a Capricorn, and I find Capricorns are so good at business arrangement type of friendships. I wouldn't be surprised if in the bedroom, you know, they have a similar kind of way about things where, you know, they're not able to emotionally connect with the person they're sleeping with, because it's an arrangement kind of thing. and Scorpio needs to emotionally connect to the person they're intimate with in order for them to feel fulfilled. So what fulfills a Scorpio? That deep emotion. What fulfills a Capricorn? Success, business, stability. So anyway, in my opinion, I do feel this couple can work, but there needs to be a lot of negotiating. So most likely the Capricorn will have to negotiate a little bit more than the Scorpio, because the Scorpio is a fixed sign. Fixed signs don't look at themselves as being a problem in their relationship as much as the cardinal sign might. And cardinal is known to lead, but they're good at leading themselves, meaning that I can see that this person can't negotiate properly, but I'm happy to, make myself easier to deal with in order for my partner to be happy. So that is my Capricorn and Scorpio compatibility video. Let me know how your relationships go, with your Scorpio partner or your Capricorn partner. I'd love to hear it. I like to say, what else should I say? That's it. Thanks, guys. Have a nice day.